Good evening, and thank you for joining us as we celebrate this special milestone together. Before we begin, I'll ask if you can please silence your phones as to not to disturb any part of this program. Please join me in welcoming our 5th grade girls graduating class of Tuf Shin Pei Aleph 5781.
B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michoel Umismoli Gavriel Umilfanai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael V'al Roshi Shchinas Kel B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michoel Umismoili Gavriel Umilfonai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael V'al Roshi Shchinas Kel Lo sira mi pachad loila, lo sira mi pachad loila, hay na nay nay na nay nay na nay 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 mechet yahuf yahoma lo sira Pachad loy sira mi pachad loy la 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 mechet yof yoimo b'Shem Hashem B'Shem Hashem B'Shem Hashem Elokei Yisrael Mimini Michoel Mismoili Gavriel Umilfonai Uriel Umeachorai Raphael V'al Roshi Shchinas Kel Sira
Welcome, proud parents, grandparents, teachers, faculty, our esteemed graduates, and all who have joined us through our live stream. Welcome. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our Rosh HaYeshiva, Rabbi Palagan, and Rabbi Luban. Thank you so much for being here this evening to join us in the Simcha. I would also like to thank the many teachers who are here, starting from our first grade teachers, Mrs. Miriam Cohn, who is also a proud parent tonight, Mrs. Devorah Schwartz, Mrs. Razy Greenberg, Mrs. Rosalie Rosenbaum, Ms. Cyril Schwartz, Mrs. Annette Sachs, Mrs. Chana Ayofi, another proud parent of a graduate tonight, Mrs. Esti Palagan, Ms. Yocheved Miriam Saperman, Mrs. Carol Fried, Mrs. Ruchi Berkman, Mrs. Shoshana Jaroslavitz, Mrs. Esti Moskowitz, Ms. Sarah Winter, Mrs. Yehuda Schnidman, Mrs. Dori Ehrenreich. So many of you are here in the audience, and we can't thank you enough. Sorry, I missed. We have all three Rosh HaYeshiva with us tonight. Thank you, Rabbi Nyman, for joining us as well. Your presence means a lot. I'd like to start this evening with the bracha of Shechayanu, V'kiyimanu, V'giyanu, Lazman Hazeh. It is so special, and we have real thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're back in person. We're back together as our YTCTE family to celebrate this special milestone of the girls. Aside from the family seating with social distancing, we are really so privileged to be here together. Our program will begin with Dr. Gore Berman addressing our graduates. We are so privileged that Dr. Berman has joined our administrative team this year. Aside from enhancing our secular studies program across the yeshiva, his presence in KES definitely will leave a mark on our graduates. I'd like to call upon Dr. Berman to share a few words.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Deitch. Rishus, the Rosh Yeshiva, Rishus Rabbi Bauman, all the other Rabbanim who are with us this evening. Dear graduates, this coming week, Mirza Hashem will read about the Para Aduma. The Para Aduma is the quintessential example of a chok. Chok is something that we don't totally understand. It's a little bit beyond our comprehension. We don't have a Beis HaMikdash, and so we don't get to experience the Para Aduma in our daily life. But there are plenty of things that are a little bit beyond our comprehension and that are a little difficult to understand. I'd like to focus on one of those items this afternoon. Before the school year started, I asked your teachers, what are your plans for school? You're going to come in, teach in person, teach over via Zoom? All right, it's all good. Like many other teachers, they had to decide between their professional responsibilities, their desire to be with their students on the one hand, and on the other hand, their need to stay safe and healthy and take care of their families. And so I asked them, are you coming in person, maybe via Zoom? They didn't understand my question. What do you mean? Of course, we're coming in to teach in person. We would have it no other way. For me, that answer, based on what I thought I knew, was a little bit beyond my comprehension, hard for me to understand. But graduates, you were and you continue to be the beneficiaries of your teacher's incredible dedication to you. So fast forward a few months, and one of your teachers became ill with COVID. Okay? 14-day quarantine. She came back, but she was still ill, and she was certainly exhausted, so exhausted that it was hard for her to stay on her feet the entire day. And so I said to her, perhaps you should go home. Just take care of yourself. She completely ignored me. Don't worry, I'm used to it. She said, my girls. I got to be here for my girls. Her answer was a little bit beyond my comprehension. It was hard for me to understand. But again, graduates, you were and you continue to be the beneficiary of your teachers' incredible dedication to you. Finally, a few weeks ago, one of your teachers felt pretty strongly that she had to act in a certain way. I understood, made sense, but she realized that acting in that way might cause a little bit of damage to one of her students, might have a negative impact on one of her students. And so she was torn, and she was conflicted for about 30 seconds. And then she realized that there was no way, there was no how that she was going to act in a way to knowingly cause any amount of damage to her student. Had I been in her shoes, not sure I would have been able to make that decision. A little bit beyond my comprehension, hard for me to understand. But as I said, ladies, you were and are the beneficiary of your teacher's incredible dedication to you. And so my bracha to you graduates, as you leave Torah Emes and you go on to middle school and high school and beyond, is that your teachers will be as dedicated to you as Mrs. Ehrenreich, Mrs. Berkman, and Mrs. Schneidman. Just as an aside, it's not so easy to take on a new class in the middle of the year. Ms. Schneidman, you did so with professionalism and pride and generosity, and we are very thankful for that. Graduates, if you have such teachers that care about you as much as these teachers do, then I have no doubt that you will embrace the unique qualities that Hashem has given each one of you. The reason He's put you on this earth is that you can be a walking Kiddush Hashem. And when that happens, no doubt you will continue to be a tremendous source of nachas for your community, for your school, for your family, for yourself, and for Hashem. I am so thankful that you allowed me to be a part of your education this year. Mazel tov, graduates, mazel tov, parents, mazel tov, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Berman. We will now turn our attention to the screen as we present a personal message from each one of our graduates.
My favorite event at Torah Emes was Field Day 2021. It was so much fun because we were the leaders. Another reason why it was my favorite was because I was a leader for the really cute first graders. It was a great day and I will never forget it.
My favorite Torah Emes memory was when we went to Lion Country Safari. I loved riding on the coach bus with all of my friends. It was so much fun running around with my group and feeding all the animals. The birds were nipping at our fingers and we saw lions basking in the sun. That still stands out so vividly in my mind. I really enjoyed spending time with my friends on this trip.
My favorite Torah Emes memory is when we did the Berachos Yaakov with Mrs. Fried. We learned the Berachos and we learned each one with a different tune. We practiced a lot and it came out really well. We performed in front of all the mothers wearing different costumes and it was so much fun.
Someone at Torah Emes who really inspired me was Mrs. Marlowe. Whenever I had a problem or whenever I needed anything, I always knew I can count on her. The way she inspired me most was by teaching me to be nice, kind, and loving to others. By working on that, I was able to improve in many ways and found new friends. Mrs. Marlowe, I want to say thank you to you.
What I will miss most about Torah Emes is being in 5th grade. We had lots of chances to be a leader for the younger grades and we got so much more privileges. My amazing teachers, Mrs. Berkman and Mrs. Ehrenreich, helped me through all my ups and downs. They are always there for me and they taught me how to be a mature, responsible 5th grader. The 5th grade teachers treat us maturely and not like babies. Both of these teachers are like my second moms. I look up to them and the fact that they are always so positive. I have such amazing memories from my 5th grade year.
I came to Torah Emes in 4th grade. I can honestly say that the people I will miss most from my time at Torah Emes are my teachers. In 4th grade, they worked hard to help me improve my Chumash skills. They helped me and prepare me for 5th grade. In 5th grade, my teachers helped me continue to grow. I will miss them all.
My favorite Torah Summit event was the kindergarten graduation. I remember all the days leading up to it. My teachers and Rose got so excited. They gave out parts and taught us songs and motions. The excitement growing inside me was unbearable. I know that all the credit goes to my teachers and all the other YCCTE staff. I'm sure that was a lot of stress and organization went into it, making that day so special. I still remember all the details that went into the wonderful day. At the actual graduation, my parents and grandparents and siblings were all sitting there, and it made me feel so good. I would just like to thank all of you who put the same effort into making this graduation from 5th grade as memorable.
During my 8 years at Torah Summit, I've had many special memories. I wanted to thank all the teachers who took the time and effort to make us all feel comfortable. Mrs. Brookman was always smiling and treating us like her own children. One time, her daughter broke her finger and she was up the whole night with her in the hospital, but still made it to school for us the next day. That shows what a great teacher she truly is.
The teacher who inspired me the most in Torah Summit was Mrs. Sommer. She's such a good coach. I will always remember her cheering me on when I did gymnastics or at recess when I would run. I will miss her playing knockout or elimination with me. I will miss you, Mrs. Sommer. My favorite Torah Summit memory was the Malova Malka. I had so much fun sitting with both 4th grade classes. We sang songs and designed picture frames. We even made donuts that tasted so good. It was so much fun. I'll miss these kinds of special events. My favorite special event at Torah Summit was the Arab Shabbos Assembly every week. I loved it because we would always sing with the entire girls' school. We also got to do projects like making challah and making flour cookies for Shavuos. There was always so many fun things to do.
The teacher that inspired me here at Torah Summit was Mrs. Dennis. I loved each and every teacher in the school, but I spent 2 years with Mrs. Dennis, so we had close time together. She didn't just teach me something and then that's it. She made sure she did it with lots of love, patience, and always fun too. Thank you, Mrs. Dennis. I really learned a lot.
My favorite special event at the Torah Semes was the annual Purim Carnival. The booths had exciting games, and when we finally got to 5th grade, we got to run the booths. The exciting bounce houses also added to the Purim spirit. I loved wearing my special costume and pointing out the other cool costumes. I enjoyed spending the day with my friends every year at the Shushan Purim Carnival.
My favorite special event in Torah Semes was probably the annual walkathon. It's not just walking around a boring old circle, but you're raising money for tzedakah, walking with your friends, getting ices and Gatorade. It's all so much fun, especially when you're tying the mitzvah tzedakah into it. I love the barbecue lunch afterward, and I love the Chavetz Chaim Heritage Foundation video we always watch. The days leading up to it are always filled with excitement. I'm never going to forget the Torah Semes walkathon.
What I will miss most about Torah Semes is the way my teachers greeted me every morning and afternoon with a smile. I will really miss that because I know it is something special to Torah Semes. I am glad I got to have that experience here.
I'm very sad to be leaving this school. I have been here for the last 6 years of my life. I will especially miss the Arab Shabbos Assembly every week. I'm so sad to be leaving, but I'm excited to go to middle school.
What I will miss the most at Torah Semes is my friends. I've known them and been with them for such a long time that it will be really hard for me to leave them next year. I will always miss them, and I hope that I will see them again. They have inspired me so much over the past few years. I will always remember them.
What I will miss most about Torah Semes is the teachers. We have amazing teachers, and they have always been there for me in every way possible. I knew I could count on them for anything, and they are truly what I will miss most as I leave Torah Semes.
My favorite day at Torah Semes was field day. It was so much fun. Even though my team didn't win, we got to play basketball, climb a spider web, and even do a math competition. It was such a fun day. If there was any day I could do all over again, this would be the one.
What I will miss most about Torah Semes is plainly just being in 5th grade. My teachers, Mrs. Ehrenreich and Mrs. Berkman, treated us very maturely. As a 5th grader, I felt different from the other grades. We had more work, but we also had more privileges. I liked 5th grade because we are not treated like babies. We are treated more like middle school girls, in my opinion. We were the leaders of the school, and everyone from the younger grades looked up to us. I felt lucky to be in 5th grade with my wonderful teachers, and I'm really appreciative for all they have done for me and how they have helped me achieve.
A Torah Semes teacher who inspired me was Mrs. Berkman. Mrs. Berkman always makes you feel confident in what you are doing. She always makes you feel good about yourself. She always teaches us how to be a great role model for everyone, and tells us stories and teaches us how to be a great Jewish girl.
One of my favorite teachers at Torres Semes was Mara Yofi. I have a few reasons I would like to share with you as why she was my favorite teacher. She was an amazing teacher because she knew how to make people have fun while they were learning. She was also very funny. Whenever there was a problem between some of the girls, she knew how to solve it and make it better. As you can see, Mara Yofi was one of my favorite teachers.
My favorite event at Torres MS was Field Day. All of the 5th graders were the captains of their groups. We felt like we were really in charge for once. We felt like we were being treated maturely and respectfully. I'll never forget this and so many other special moments of being an elementary student at Torres MS.
One thing I will miss most about Torres Semes is all the amazing girls and teachers. Soon we are all getting split up and going to different schools, and I'm going to miss every single girl. I have cherished the time that we were together because I knew the day would come that we would have to leave each other. I will miss all of you, but I wish everyone all the best in middle school.
One of my favorite memories was my very first day at school here at Torres Semes. Everyone was so inviting and friendly. Something I will really miss is being with my friends. Since we are splitting up after being together for so many years, we have made many great memories together and I will remember them forever.
A special teacher I'll never forget is Mara Yofi. In 3rd grade, Mara Yofi was always there for me and helped me when I needed help. She's very loving and treats every girl as if they were her own. Her class was very entertaining and fun. Her Chumash class really made a change to the way I learn Chumash even to this day. There will always be a special place in my heart for Mara Yofi. One of the things I will miss most is all the amazing teachers and girls here at Torres MS. I will miss going on long bus rides every day, playing elimination in art class. I had so many fun times in the school. Thank you to all of the students, teachers, and staff. I'm really going to miss it here.
A teacher who influenced me a lot was Mrs. Ehrenreich. She taught me how to act more maturely and to be respectful. She helped me through my hard times when I first started 5th grade. Mrs. Ehrenreich made me feel very comforted and respected.
My class is one of the biggest things that I'm going to miss. It is so hard to think about the fact that we won't be together next year and in the future. My class has been so amazing and I am sad about having to separate, but I want to say that I will love my class forever.
One memory that I have from my years at Torres Semes is from the 1st grade. We took a trip to the old Davy Schoolhouse and we got to go on a tour. We went into the old classroom where they showed us how they taught the children in the olden time. We even washed clothing the old way. We hung it on the line to dry. That was one of my favorite Torres Semes memories. I won't forget that and I won't forget this school. One teacher at Torres Semes that influenced me was Maura Perley. When I moved to Torres Semes in kindergarten, Maura Perley was one of the amazing teachers who greeted me with open arms. She would always greet me with a smile and always comforted me when I cried. I will always remember what a special teacher Maura Perley was to me.
One thing that I will always miss about Torres MS is my class. I will miss our times together and our laughs. We were like one big family. We had so many amazing times that I will never forget. I will always remember this wonderful, amazing class.
What I will miss about Torres MS is my friends and teachers. I will always remember all the surprise parties we did for our class or birthday parties or teachers. Whenever we finished a parsha, we would have a siyam. I will miss all of these and so many other memories of me growing up here at Torres MS. Moving forward to 6th grade will be a big change, but I hope to visit Torres MS someday in the future.
I would like to thank every teacher, as well as my 5th grade teachers, Mrs. Schneeman and Mrs. Erich, at Torres MS, but I would especially like to thank Mora Ilfi. One of the reasons is because she taught us so many things that we will need in our lives, like Siyata Dishmaya and make your days count, don't count your days. She also taught us about not to judge someone unless you know what they're going through. She always greets us with a smile, and if we are sad, she always cheers us up. Also, by the way, Mora Ilfi is my mom.
My favorite special event at Torres MS was whenever we would gather in the auditorium for projects. We made some related to Parsha and holidays. For example, for Shavuos we got a cookie and marshmallows with colored sugar on them and made a flower out of them. Those projects were some of my favorite times and I'll miss them.
My favorite event at Torres MS was the Purim Carnival. It was a fun time going to all of the stations. It was fun to switch between them and join them in 5th grade. I think the bounce houses were so much fun, and of course we always got cotton candy and ices. These are just some of the reasons why I will always have such a good memory of the Purim Carnival.
There is one memory that is my favorite and stands out among all the others. It was in 1st grade when I received my first siddur. We decorated them so beautifully and with so much joy. Finally, the big day arrived. It was time to open our siddurim and say the special words. I still remember the feeling of finally having a connection with Hashem and knowing that I could ask Him anything. This memory will stay with me wherever I go.
My favorite special event over my years at Torah Semes was the Lion Country Safari trip. I had the best time. I was with all of my friends and the coach bus was so much fun. I also loved it because I got a lot of time with my friends and got to know them better. This trip showed me so many great things, not just the animals, but a whole new side of my friends. This trip took me on an adventure, and I know that future experience will too.
All of my teachers at this school have helped me see the best of myself, but the one I look up to the most is Mrs. J. She taught me how important it is to express my feelings and helped me learn how to do that through writing. Mrs. J also helped me think more about my future. Until 4th grade, I never gave my future a thought. Now I want to become a lawyer just like Mrs. J. Mrs. J was also very kind to me. Whenever I would get nervous, she would always know what to say to calm me down. I hope to grow up to be just as kind as caring as Mrs. J.
One of the things I will miss about Torah Semes is the feeling that Torah Semes is a family. It was really nice how I could walk down the hall and see it filled with teachers and friends. All the teachers over the years have been really helpful and caring. I always felt that I could ask for something if I needed help. That is the main reason I am going to miss coming to Torah Semes next year.
5th grade was so much fun. One of the special events I will never forget is Field Day. It was so much fun to be the leaders. I remember in 1st grade when we got our Siddurim, and in 2nd grade when we said the Pledge of Allegiance each day. In 3rd, we read a poem every Friday. In 4th grade, we had FGF, 4th grade fun, with Mrs. Berkman. My 5th grade teachers, Mrs. Ehrenreich and Mrs. Schnidman, were always there for me. I'll never forget this school.
A teacher at Torah Semes who influenced me was Mrs. Ehrenreich. She was really amazing. I'll never forget the times when she made us laugh and cheered us up. There are lots of amazing teachers there, but Mrs. Ehrenreich was the one who taught me to never give up on myself. I would say she's an amazing, humble, funny, and brave teacher. I will miss her.
The thing I will most miss about Torah Semes is my friends who have been like sisters to me. They have been there for me whenever I needed them. I'm really going to miss all of the teachers that I had over the years. Torah Semes has felt like home, and the years I have spent here have been amazing.
My favorite Torah Semes memory is the first time I walked into 1st grade. I was so anxious that none of my friends would be in my class, but when I walked in, the first person I saw was one of my closest friends. I ran up to her and gave her a big hug. Then I saw all of my other friends and I was so excited I felt like I could blast off. This is one of my favorite memories and I will always cherish it, even with all the new experiences to come.
I will really miss Torah Semes. I will miss all the welcoming and loving student staff and principals. I will miss our showers, assemblies, and activities. My short time here has been amazing, and I really wish it could last longer. I will miss all my teachers and friends who inspired me to be my best self. I can't believe it's already graduation. It will be very hard to say goodbye. I really miss Torah Semes.
What I will remember most of my time at Torah Semes is the time that I spent with everyone. It is so hard to think of leaving each other. We had spent so much time and had so many laughs together. From recess to PE to dancing during assemblies. I love this school and I will never forget it. I will also never forget how my friends would always rush to help me. If I was ever sad or mad or even just a little unhappy, one of my friends would always come and help me. I will miss Torah Semes and all of my friends so much.
Let's hear it for the graduating class. You girls have done such a phenomenal job speaking so confidently and beautifully. Kol hakavod to all of you. The thing we will miss most about Torah Semes is you girls. You really did beautifully. All of you, each and every one of you. I'm now going to call upon Rabbi Bauman, who is the core of all that is done in Torah Semes. His presence and midos are one of those whose entire life is dedicated to Torah and MS and to our community, Torah Semes. Especially through this past year, Rabbi Bauman's dedication to safely reopen school and even more challenging, keeping it open throughout is so appreciated. We now have the privilege and great zchus to hear from Rabbi Bauman.
Thank you, Mrs. Deitch. Bershus, Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbanim, parents, grandparents, teachers, and girls. You're a hard act to follow. You really expressed yourselves so well, and we're so proud of you. I wanted to share an idea with you, which this class really makes me think about. You know, a graduation is a lot of fun. We got balloons, everybody comes, and it's a wonderful milestone in your life. It is also an opportunity to just stop for a few minutes and think. Think about what's important in life. There are many things that are important in life. I would just like to help you think about one idea that's important in life in the couple minutes that I have with you. We all appreciate friends. We all appreciate being part of a group, especially such a special group as you girls are. And the idea of being together as a group and being part of a group actually is illustrated by something in Tanakh. Now, in a couple of years, you'll probably be learning Sefer Malachim, Malachim Beis to be exact. And there's a well-known story in Malachim having to do with the great Navi Elisha. Now, Elisha had a Talmud whose name was Gehazi, who, as great as he was, unfortunately, he fell short, and he's not described in the most positive terms. One of the things that Gehazi did was he controlled the number of people who came into Elisha's yeshiva. He had a yeshiva, and Gehazi basically kept out most of the people who wanted to come in. After Gehazi was pushed away and was told to go away, a lot of people started coming to the yeshiva. People came, and it reached the point that they were unable to fit everybody into the building. So they had a whole campaign that they went, a lot of these students who wanted to come in, they went to the place by the Jordan River, the Yarden, and they started chopping down trees so that they could build a building so that there could be more people in the yeshiva. This is the story described in Tanakh. And as they were chopping down the trees, there was one particular young man who had an axe, and he was chopping a tree, and the blade slipped off the axe, don't get scared, it slipped off the axe, and it fell into the river. So he was very upset because he had borrowed this axe, and he was unable now to participate and be a part of the building. And he went to Elisha, the great Navi Elisha, and he told him about his situation. Elisha went ahead and caused a miracle to happen. He said, "Show me exactly where in the water your axe, the blade, fell in." And Elisha, I think he threw in a piece of wood, and miraculously the blade came up, and the boy had his axe again, and he was good to go. Now this whole story was taught in a classroom by a great teacher, and somebody asked the following question. Miracles don't happen just for any reason. Miracles are performed because somebody is very sick, maybe a whole community is in danger. Why would Elisha perform a miracle just so that somebody would get his axe back? Like, it didn't seem to really rise to the level of something that would require a miracle. So one of the students in the class said the following, and I'm sorry, the person asking this question said, if, let's say I had been there, and let's say somebody lost a ball. They lost the ball, so what would you do? You give them some money and they'd buy another ball. Why do you need to have a miracle? So this was the answer that one of the students gave. The axe, you might have been able to buy him a new axe. But for this amount of time, this boy, this young man, would not have been able to participate and be a part of the efforts and the activity that the group was going through. To feel a part of a group, to include somebody else, to include every last person possible, that is so important that, yes, if we could perform a miracle to make sure that happens, then it's worthwhile to have such a miracle. And this, I thought this was such a beautiful, beautiful lesson that we learned from this incident in Tanakh. Every single person is important. We have a couple of the girls who are not with us tonight, and we feel we're missing them. We so much want them to be a part of us. Unfortunately, they can't be. Hopefully, they're watching us on the live stream. But in any time that you're part of a group, you have to make sure that you include every single person. No matter how important the thing you're doing, don't leave anybody out. Because we all know what it feels like. But we might think that, oh, I'm involved in something very important. You know, I have to get this job done. So what if somebody can't join us? So what if somebody couldn't make it? So what if somebody is not feeling well today? You have to always think about every single one of your friends, just like you want your friends to think of you. And if you can just think about that for a couple of minutes and how important every individual is, so then I feel very good that you will be leaving Torah MS with not only all the things that the teachers have taught you and all the midos that you have learned and all of the striving for excellence that we constantly try to imbue in you. You'll be leaving with this very important idea, this very important principle in Yiddishkeit. Do not leave anybody out. Every single person is very, very valuable, very important, and we always have to remember to always look out for every one of our friends. I want to wish a mazel tov to the parents, the grandparents, and to our graduates. You should make us proud, and I know you will. We will miss you, and Hashem should bless you. It should find success in the next stage of your life and throughout the years ahead. Mazel tov.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Bauman, for your divrei bracha. It is hard to put 5 incredible years into 5 minutes or less. I don't know how you girls managed to do it and come together, put everything together in a short presentation that you just watched. It feels like just yesterday that you girls graduated kindergarten, began reading, were up on stage getting your chumashim, began learning Rashi, began learning Navi, and all the other important things you've learned throughout your time here. This year, we've embarked on a kavod campaign. We began, but can never fully begin, understanding kavod atzmi. You were all born, and I know you learned this in your booklets, B'Tselem Elokim, you are all so special and unique, each one in a different way. Every action, every mitzvah, every word you share has such incredible value and is important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But many times, you have left, as the leaders of our school, a real impact on all the younger students you've encountered and have made a huge impression. One of my favorite stories that brings out this point very much was the story of Rabbi Rodin, who is a rabbi in Texas. And someone came into his yeshiva, and he wanted to make a big donation. And Rabbi Rodin did not recognize him. He never met the person wasn't religious, he had no connection with him. And he shared the reason, Rabbi Rodin asked why he came, and he shared the reason he came is because he had just visited Israel. He had just visited Eretz Yisrael. And when he was there, he visited the Western Wall, the Kosel. And while he was there, he saw somebody davening so fervently, praying. And he said he realized that person had something. He had meaning, he had a connection with something so much greater. And it made such an impression on him. And he watched him carefully. His tears poured down his eyes were closed. And he was communicating with something so much greater than him. And he promised himself then and there that when he gets back to Texas, he will try to find somebody that looks like the man, that resembles the man, at the Kosel, and make a contribution. The end of this story is really incredible because this chassid, this man, we still don't know who he is. He's going to come up to Shamayim one day, and Hashem will tell him, "You've built a yeshiva in Texas." And he's going to say, "I never visited Texas. I don't have $1 barely to give to tzedakah. How could I have built a yeshiva in Texas? How could I have contributed?" And the message of this story is really everything we do has an impact. And I know you girls know what leaders are, people who make good choices even when no one's looking. So kol hakavod to all of you. I wish you a bracha that you should continue to realize your worth, be proud of yourselves, bring tremendous nachas to your parents, our yeshiva, and ultimately, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mazel tov, graduates. We will now be calling each graduate to receive their diploma. Rabbi Bauman will be calling 5G1 alphabetically, so you can have your cameras ready. I will be calling 5G2. Please have your cameras ready.
Ahuva Becker. Noah Becker.
Deborah Abigail Ben Arosh.
Esther Ben Lolo, I hope you're watching.
Elior Busani.
Zizi Bergida.
Shirachana Cohn.
Elisheva Breyer.
Rafi Korshia.
Raina Dubkowski.
Rachel Bracha Eisenstein.
Meira Ehrlich.
Racheli Fensterzaub.
Malka Fladen.
Ava May Gertzberg.
Esti Gist.
Sophia Liba Goldsmith.
Rena Goldenberg.
Hanalea Hardy.
Oria Gozlan.
Meital Ayofi.
Tammy Hauser.
Adele Sara Izugayev.
Shifra Kahan.
Hadar Kesar.
Batsheva Kut.
Orly Rivka Leonov.
Leah Margaliot.
Elke Levine.
Devora Melnick.
Ruti Ness.
Liel Miara.
Shiffy Schwartz.
Hannah Pasquale. Aviva Rubelau.
Noya Sara Sedegati.
Abigail Schiff.
Ita Stillerman.
Rachel Sokol.
Priel Tarazi.
Maya Solomon Zeta.
Dina Wunsch. Olivia Sara Yashar. And Adar Zaid. Before we begin our final video and chance to take pictures with your daughters, teachers at the back corner of the room, I'd like to thank all those who helped make this evening such a success, our teachers and faculty for helping the girls reach this milestone and joining us this evening and showing their love and support. A special thank you to our 5th grade team, Mrs. Yehudis Schnidman, Mrs. Rachi Berkman, and Mrs. Dori Ehrenreich for your hours of hard work and dedication to make this graduation day a most memorable day for the graduates. Thank you. To Rabbi Bauman for your constant guidance, insight, and support throughout. To Mr. Carlos Chata and his help with the setup and video footage. To Mr. Koludny, Mrs. Abigail Shafrin, Mrs. Yellen, Mrs. Rivka Leah Hauser, and all our IT staff. Rabbi Roth, Mr. Akrish Arbel, and crew for making this technically possible. To Mrs. Cyril for your countless hours intending to every detail, and I mean every detail, of graduation, the trip, the yearbook, and this event, the decor, the food. Mrs. Cyril, I don't know how we could have done this without you. To our incredible office staff, Mrs. Krieger, Mrs. Yellen, Mrs. Deitch, and to the help of Mrs. Fant, Ms. Shandy Kaiser, Ms. Elisheva Hamnik, Ms. Sarahini for arranging and perfecting every detail of today's events. Thank you to the PTA who generously sponsored the Sidurim the girls will receive in their bags on the side of the room. Thank you to Mrs. Leonoff for arranging the beautiful floral arrangements and to Mrs. Rina Izugaya for putting them together. Thank you to my sister-in-law, Basia Deitch, for all your hard work behind the scenes and for producing the graduates' video that you saw. And to Mrs. Dori Ehrenreich for the special video presentation you are about to see. One more special thank you to you, the parents, for entrusting your girls and for your constant support throughout this journey together. Thank you. Mazel Tov, graduates. You girls can all return to your, I guess, get closer to your seats for the montage video, or just stay where you are. You saw it well, the video? Perfect. So give your attention to the screen and a sum of all our fun time together this year and in the past.
חיים טובים, ימים יפים, פרנוס הסגית, אפילו חופשה לפעמים. ילדים מביאים לנו נחת לרוב, כולם בריאים, יש שמחות מזל טוב. מדהים לראות איך הכל מסתדר, ושום דבר לנו לא חסר. ורק בזמן שקשה נביט למעלה, למה שלא נבין שהוא אחראי כאן לכל. הוא את הכל ברא, לטוב ולא לרע. הוא האלוקים, הוא מלך מלכי המלכים. אין עוד מלבדו,
יש צבא גדול שלוחם מכל הלב ונותן את הכל, לא חושב מה יהיה ומוסר את הלב. אחד בשביל כולם, כולם בשביל אחד, רצים קדימה. ישנו עם קטן מפוזר בכל קצוות תבל, יום יבוא קרוב מאוד ואז הוא ייגאל. רק מי ומי, מי ומי, מי ומי ומי יגיע. בנערינו, בזקנינו, בבנינו, בבנותינו, בצאנינו, בבקרינו, כולנו נלך, כולנו נלך. כל אחד מישראל בסוף ייגאל, זה לא חשוב מאיפה באת, מי אתה, לאן אתה הולך. כולנו ילדים שלך ויוחד. כל אחד מישראל בקרוב ייגאל, זה לא חשוב מאיפה באת, מי אתה, לאן אתה הולך. כולנו ילדים שלך ויוחד. היי היי היי. ועובר הזמן, מרגישים שהעולם כבר ממש מוכן. עוד שנה עברה ועוד שבוע נעלם, ואנחנו מחכים ומצפים שהוא יגיע. כבר ראינו הכל והלב צמא ולא למים, רק לשמוע את הקול שיודיע מי ומי, מי ומי, מי ומי ומי יגיע. בנערינו, בזקנינו, בבנינו, בבנותינו, בצאנינו, בבקרינו, כולנו נלך, כולנו נלך.
Four 535-979 323.
Hey, la-la-la-la, thank you Hashem. La-la-la-la-la, thank you Hashem. La-la-la-la-la, thank you Hashem. Thank you Hashem. Hoidu LaHashem ki tov, ki li oilam chasdoi. Hoidu LaHashem ki tov, ki li oilam chasdoi.
Hoidu LaHashem ki tov, ki li oilam chasdoi. Hoidu LaHashem ki toiv Ki le'olam chasdoi
Ha'moidem ves Hashem Ha'moidem ves Hashem Ha'moidem ves Hashem Ki le'olam chasdoi Alles is over!
Thank you Hashem Thank you Hashem Thank you Hashem
Thank you Hashem
Hoidu LaHashem Hoidu LaHashem ki tov Ki le'olam Hoidu LaHashem Hashem, Hapamoide es Hashem, Ki li'olam chasdoi. Hapamoide es Hashem. Thank you Hashem, thank you Hashem, thank you Hashem. Ki li'olam chasdoi. Thank you Hashem, thank you Hashem. All around, people aim to bring us down, feelings shaken to the core. They can hurt, they can maim, we'll be here just the same, standing the way we were before. We go on, yes we go on, there is nothing we can overcome. We are strong, yes we are strong, holding firm and our troubles will be gone. We are here to stay. We keep going, going. We are meant to be for eternity. L'netzach. Am Yisrael Chai, that will never change. We keep going, going. We are meant to be l'netzach. B'chol yom shuv ro'im et tovenu לוחצים, לפעמים קשה לראות האור ולבסוף נופלים הם בי נמשיך להתקיים כי נצח ישראל לדור ודור. We go on, yes we go on, there is nothing we can overcome. We are strong, yes we are strong, holding firm and our troubles will be gone.
Before we end our program, we have a special presentation from three girls. If I can call on Malka Fladen, Dina Wunsch, and Rachel Sokol.
are so many teachers, but just to think a few. There are so many teachers, but just to think a few, we'd like to take our time to say thank you. Mrs. Ernest, summer, spring, winter, fall, you make sure we have a ball. Thank you. Mrs. Berkman, thank you for teaching us every day how to be a Bas Yisrael in the very best way. Mrs. Searle, you're truly the best. You work behind the scenes, and it seemed that you never rest. Mrs. Deach, you have shown patience, love, and care, expertly handling all our fears.
Mrs. Schneemann. Mrs. Schneemann, you're smart, fair, friendly. You're helping all of us, and if we had to grade you from us, you'd get an A+.
Just before we end, there's one more thank you. I really want to thank Mrs. Deach. All of this would not have happened without all of her efforts, her input, and devotion to the girls throughout the year. Okay, I don't know what's about to happen now. I have two public service announcements. Number one, if someone lost some cash, someone found some cash outside. So check it's a nice amount of money, so please see me if that's you. And the gentleman, we will daven mincha in about 10 minutes in the tent next door. Okay, thank you.